Have you ever wondered why walking every day still does not feel like enough anymore? You may be doing your best. You may take your daily walk, stay active, and try to keep your body moving. But then one day, the stairs feel a little steeper. Getting up from a chair takes more effort. Your balance feels less steady than it used to. And naturally, many people start thinking, maybe it is my knees, maybe it is my hips, maybe this is just what getting older feels like. But from what I have seen, there is often another part of the story. A small muscle group in the back of your lower legs may be quietly getting weaker, even if you walk every single day. Most people do not think about it until walking, climbing, or standing on tiptoe becomes harder. And the surprising part is this: these muscles help support almost every step you take. Today, I want to show you why this hidden muscle matters so much after 60, why walking alone may not fully train it, and what simple movements can help wake it back up. Now, let me be clear. Walking is one of the best habits you can keep after 60. I would never tell someone to stop walking. It helps your heart, keeps your joints moving, supports your mood, and gives your body a reason to stay active. But here is the part many people miss. Walking and strengthening are not the same thing. When you take a comfortable walk, your body is smart. It finds the easiest way to move. It uses the same pattern again and again, step after step. That is good for endurance, but it does not always challenge every muscle enough to make it stronger. Think of it like carrying the same light grocery bag every day. Your arm is working, but it may not be getting stronger because the load never changes. The same thing can happen in your legs. Some muscles stay busy, while others quietly get weaker because they are never asked to do more. And the muscle we are about to talk about works every time you stand, walk, or climb stairs, but most seniors never train it directly. The muscle group I am talking about is your calves. Most people think of the calves as just the muscles that show in the back of the lower leg, but they do much more than that. Your calf muscles help push your body forward every time you take a step. They help steady your ankles when the ground is uneven. They help you climb stairs, step up onto a curb, rise onto your toes, and keep your balance when your body shifts. Two important muscles are involved here. One is called the soleus, and it works a lot when you are standing or walking. The other is called the gastrocnemius, and it helps more when you need extra power, like climbing stairs or lifting your heels. Together, these muscles act like a quiet support system for your lower body. You may not notice them when they are strong, but when they start getting weaker, daily life can feel different. Steps feel heavier. Balance feels less certain. Walking may feel less smooth. That is why I do not want you to ignore them. One reason calf muscles get weaker after 60 is not because you have done something wrong. It is because life has become easier on the body in many small ways. Think about it. We use elevators instead of stairs. Escalators do the climbing for us. Cars take us places we used to walk. Many homes have flat floors, smooth surfaces, and fewer reasons to step up, climb, or push through the feet. Even good supportive shoes, while helpful and comfortable, can reduce how much the lower legs have to work. Over time, the body pays attention to what you ask from it. If a muscle is not asked to work harder than usual, it slowly gives up some strength. That is not failure, that is adaptation. Your body is simply trying to save energy, but here is the encouraging part. Muscles can respond when we ask them to work again, gently and consistently. So if your calves feel weaker now, it does not mean it is too late. It just means they may need the right kind of attention. So how do you know if your calf muscles may be losing strength? Most of the time, it does not show up all at once. It sneaks in slowly. Maybe the stairs feel a little steeper than they used to. Maybe you pause before stepping off a curb because your balance does not feel as sure. Maybe getting up from a chair takes more effort, even though your knees are not really painful. Some people notice their walking feels less smooth, almost like the legs are not pushing them forward the way they used to. Others find it hard to stand on one foot while putting on pants or shoes. And one simple sign is this: rising onto your tiptoes feels weak, shaky, or tiring. These small changes are easy to brush off as normal aging, but they may be your body's way of asking for a little more strength support. If any of these sound familiar, the next few minutes may be especially important, because the right simple exercises can help you start training this area again. Before we do any exercise, I want you to set yourself up safely. This part matters, especially if your balance is not as steady as it used to be. Stand near something solid, like a sturdy chair, a countertop, or a wall, not a rolling chair, not a light table that can slide away. You want something that can truly support you if you need it. Choose a flat surface that is not slippery, and make sure there are no rugs, cords, or small objects around your feet. Wear comfortable shoes if that makes you feel more secure. Some people prefer barefoot exercise, but only do that if the floor has good traction and you feel stable. Move slowly. There is no prize for rushing. In fact, slow movement is safer and often works the muscles better. If you feel sharp pain, dizziness, chest discomfort, or anything that feels wrong, stop right away. Mild muscle tiredness is okay. Pain is not. The goal today is not to prove how strong you are. The goal is to help your body move with more confidence, one careful repetition at a time. Let's start with the basic calf raise. This is the foundation, so do not rush through it. Stand near a sturdy chair, countertop, or wall for support. Place the balls of your feet on the edge of a low step, a firm yoga block, or any stable surface that does not move. Your heels should hang slightly off the back, but only as far as feels safe and comfortable. Keep your feet pointing straight ahead, about hip-width apart. Now slowly lower your heels down until you feel a gentle stretch in the back of your lower legs. Do not bounce, just pause for a moment. Then press through the balls of your feet and rise up onto your toes as high as you comfortably can. At the top, hold for 1 second and feel your calf muscles working. Then, lower back down slowly with control. That slow lowering is just as important as lifting up. Try 8 to 12 repetitions. If that feels like enough, stop there. If it feels comfortable, you can rest and do another set. Remember, your hands are there for balance, not to pull your body up. Let your legs do the work. This exercise may look simple, but when done slowly, it teaches your calves to push, control, and support your body again. Now, with this first calf raise, I want you to watch out for a few common mistakes. The biggest one is bouncing. If you drop your heels quickly and spring right back up, your muscles do not get the full benefit. You are using momentum instead of strength. Another mistake is lowering too fast. The way down matters just as much as the way up, so take your time and stay in control. Some people also lean heavily on the chair or countertop. It is fine to hold on for balance, but try not to push with your arms to lift your body. Let your calves do the work. And one more thing, do not make the movement too small. If your heels barely lower and you barely rise onto your toes, the muscles are not being challenged through a useful range. You do not need to force anything, but you do want a smooth stretch at the bottom and a controlled lift at the top. Quality matters much more than doing a lot of rushed repetitions. Now let's make one small change. For this second version, you are going to turn your toes slightly outward. Not a big turn, just about 15 to 20 degrees, like your feet are gently opening into a small V shape. Keep the balls of your feet on the edge of the step or stable block, and let your heels hang slightly off the back, just like before. Hold onto your chair, wall, or countertop for balance if you need it. Now lower your heels slowly until you feel that gentle stretch through the back of your lower legs. Pause for a moment, then press through the balls of your feet and rise up onto your toes with control. Try not to roll your ankles outward. Keep your weight even across both feet. This small change in foot position may seem simple, but it asks the calf muscles to work in a slightly different way. That is useful because real life does not always happen with your feet perfectly straight. Curbs, stairs, uneven ground, and quick turns all ask your ankles and calves to adjust. Aim for 8 to 12 slow repetitions. Smooth movement is the goal, not speed. You might be wondering, does turning the toes a little really make a difference? And that is a fair question. The answer is, it can help in a small but useful way. Your ankles and calves do not work in only one perfect position during real life. When you step off a curb, turn in the kitchen, walk across grass, or adjust your balance on an uneven sidewalk, your feet and ankles have to respond from slightly different angles. That is why these small changes matter. By turning the toes out a little, You ask the calf muscles and ankle stabilizers to work through a different pattern. It is not about making the exercise harder in a dramatic way. It is about making the routine more complete. Over time, that variety may help with control, coordination, and confidence when you move through your day. But there is one final angle that completes the routine, and it may feel different from the first two. For the third and final version, bring your feet back to a comfortable position first. Then turn your toes slightly inward, about 10 to 15 degrees. Keep this gentle. You should not feel twisted, strained, or uncomfortable. If the angle feels awkward, make it smaller. Place the balls of your feet on the edge of the step or stable block again, with your heels hanging slightly off the back. Hold your chair, wall, or countertop lightly for balance. Now, slowly lower your heels until you feel a mild stretch in the back of your lower legs. Pause there for a moment. Then press through the balls of your feet and lift your heels smoothly, rising onto your toes as high as you comfortably can. Hold the top for 1 second, then lower back down with control. Try 8 to 12 slow repetitions. This inward angle asks your calves and ankles to respond in one more slightly different way. It completes the routine by giving your lower legs a fuller, more balanced challenge. Again, do not chase speed. Keep it slow, steady, and controlled. Now let's talk about how often to do this routine, because this is where many people either do too much or stop too soon. For most older adults, 2 to 3 times a week is a good place to start. You do not need to do calf raises every single day. In fact, your muscles need time to recover, especially if they have not been trained this way in a while. Try to leave at least 1 day of rest between sessions. Start simple. Do 1 set of 8 to 12 repetitions with your feet straight, 1 set with your toes slightly out, and 1 set with your toes slightly in. That is enough in the beginning. If your legs feel tired afterward, that is okay. If you feel pain, back off. After a few weeks, if the routine feels easier and your balance feels steady, you can slowly add a second set, and later, maybe a third. But do not rush. Strength after 60 is built by showing up regularly, not by pushing hard one day and quitting for a week. Consistency matters much more than intensity. Over time, progress from this routine may feel very simple. It may not feel dramatic at first, and that is okay. You might notice that your legs do not feel as tired after a walk. Maybe the stairs feel a little less intimidating. Maybe you stand up from a chair with more control, or you feel steadier when you step off a curb. Some people may notice better balance when they turn, reach, or walk across uneven ground. These are small signs, but they matter. Stronger calves can help your body feel more supported during everyday movement. But I want to be honest with you. This is not something that changes everything overnight. Strength builds slowly, especially after 60, and that is completely normal. The goal is not to become perfect. The goal is to feel a little more confident, a little more stable, and a little more capable in the movements you already do every day. Small progress, repeated over time, is still real progress. Strong aging is not about doing the hardest workout in the room. It is not about proving anything to anyone. For many adults over 60, strong aging is much simpler than that. It is about keeping enough strength to walk with confidence, climb a few stairs, get out of a chair, step over a curb, and move through the day without feeling afraid of every little change in the ground. That kind of independence is worth protecting. And sometimes, it starts with small movements like these, done slowly and consistently. So be patient with your body. Give it time. Every controlled repetition is a small message to your muscles that you still need them and that they still have a job to do. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to keep showing up in a safe, steady way. Before you try this routine, please remember that this video is for general education only. It is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have severe pain, a recent injury, nerve problems, balance concerns, heart issues, or any medical condition that makes exercise feel unsafe, talk with your doctor or physical therapist first. And if anything feels sharp, painful, dizzy, or wrong while exercising, stop right away. If this video helped you, please subscribe for more simple health tips made especially for adults over 60. Leave a comment and tell us where you are watching from. Also, Let us know what feels harder for you lately: stairs, balance, walking, or standing up from a chair. Your comments help us create videos that are truly useful for this community. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Stay steady, stay patient, and I will see you in the next video.